Hi there, this is Lena from Lena's Crafty Corner. I'm back with another part to this front cover because it is taking a long time. I've done most of, well, I think I've done all this. I'm hoping I've done all the sewing now. So I'm just gluing over these thick bits wherever I can get my glue down, just to hold these. It's been sewn down, but then it's only been sewn in one place, so I don't want it all flapping up, so I'm just going to secure it with a bit of Fabri-Tac, and I'm going to do the same with this. This has been sewn round, but because, as you see when you see the video, if you see the other video, you'll see that I'd put some of the cover to the actual journal and then couldn't sew it very well. So talk about bodgy sewing, and I get there in the end. I need to get a bit more, better at editing and maybe doing talkovers over some of it. I don't know. But that was never what I was about. I'm about the craft and making the bits. Oh, I'm going to that's going to show through though if I stick that down. I can't have it all up like that. I don't know whether you can see that. There was a bit in the other video that I noticed I wasn't completely on camera, so I do apologise for that. So what I'm going to do here, I haven't actually got the piece out. I didn't get it ready. Oh, there's a piece that I want on this bottom. It was hanging down here like a skirt, which you would see it if you saw the other one, but then I cut it off to reattach it, but I've put it out my way. Is that it there? Or is that another one? It's the same thing, but oh, is that the piece? Let me just have a look. I think that's the piece there. But there is, I've just seen there's a double one here. I quite like that as well. No, I haven't neatened that one up, so I think I'm going to go with this one. I think that's going to there. I don't want it hanging down as far as it was before, because it was hanging down too far. Yeah, I want it like that. And I am just going to glue this down. Now what I don't know whether to do is fold it over like that so it's got a neater edge, or just glue it down like that. I think I'm going to glue it down like that, and then I'll just put something around it if I need to. So let's bring that right up to this. I've left my glue lid off, look. I'm already old tacky because I left my glue lid off. It's not as pleasant weather today. It's warm enough, but it did say it was going to be rainy intervals in between, and lo and behold, my husband's just got out there to sit out in the garden, and I just started the video and he had to call me to get him covered up. He likes staying out even if it's raining, as long as he's well covered up. He still potters about. He loves it. I can hear him actually. I can hear him doing bits out there. Because he's got an electric wheelchair, he's all over the place. It makes me laugh. It's very difficult for people when they've got the full brain power, but the body gives up on them because they still want to do everything. And it's so much more difficult, I think. Yeah, it's hard for them to accept when they can't do it anymore, when the body says no but the brain says yeah. There we go. Oh, that looks all right. It doesn't even look too untidy. I wasn't sure how untidy it would look, but I do actually quite like that. And I like that now. It's still sticky because obviously I've only just done it. I don't think I'm actually doing any more on the back, or that's the plan at the moment. But the front, now this is where it gets a little bit more difficult. I can't do the opening just at the minute because, you know, the closure at the minute because it's still wet inside because I've just had to finish gluing something down. But I do want to put this front on here or make a decision about this front. So let me just, I've just been looking for that other thing and I've thrown everything all over and I've lost my front piece. Oh, here it is. It's upside down. So I made this bride dress in one of the other videos and I want that on there. And I think that's going up there like that. Now it is going to go just into the spine slightly, so it's going to have to be really well glued down. But also, as you're opening and shutting it, I don't want it to get caught. So I want to put a sheer layer over the top to protect it. I mean, this has been sprayed to help, you know, with a spray glue and to hold everything down. And then I'm going to put something over the top. So the first thing I'm going to do is get this glued down. I'm going to make my final decision. I want it just to that end there. So that bit will go round the corner like that. I don't want it over this edge, you see. This is why I've left a longer edge. If you look inside, I've not gone to the edge of the book. I've left a longer piece because I realised that this was bigger than the front cover and I still wanted to use it. So I've just left some overhanging just to, you know, to help support it a bit. But it's still going to go over a little bit. But because I haven't got much on there, I haven't got any more diamantes, it will just bend round the corner. So the first thing is to get some Fabri-Tac on this and get this down. This is only backed onto copy paper. It was just a misprint. Actually, no it isn't. I tell a lie. It was a piece of printed paper that I got in a kit and it was white on the back and I just put it through my printer and printed on it, but it didn't print right. But it didn't really matter because I wasn't sure how I was going to use it, but because I've used it like this, I've still made a use for it. That's fine. But I couldn't have put it as one of my signature pages because it didn't print properly. I just didn't want white on the back, so I thought, oh, I'll put one of my lace papers on the back, and then it didn't print out properly. Right. I'm just making sure this will stick. You know, they want to be able to feel that they can look through it as many times as they want, and they don't want something too delicate on the front to stop them doing that. So my idea is to glue this down and then try and protect it a bit. So I do quite like that. I do think that's pretty. I like it up there. I haven't decided whether I'm putting something else over there or not. Don't actually think it needs anything else. I want to leave those hanging. Right, so what was the next? Oh, it was just to make sure that that's all right for the closure, because I don't want it to get in the way of the closure. So the closure is going to sort of go to there as well, so I didn't want that to get in the way. So yeah, that's fine. So I need to look at this closure now, because until I've done the closure, I can't really put this top layer on. So I'm just going to fold this bit of plastic up until this, if I take that out, then if things aren't dry inside, they're still going to glue together. So what my intention to do here somehow, it's too thick, it won't let me cut it. If you hear that noise, that is Oscar. He's got a cough that we thought was kennel cough, but it isn't. So they said it sounds like kennel cough, but he might have got kennel cough as well, but he's having some investigations done because there's something else going on as well. But they've given him antibiotics for the cough just to see if they can sort that out first before they do more investigations. I think some of his organs are failing, so we weren't expecting that when we went to the vets, that's for sure. Right, so I need to make a decision now how I'm going to, oh, there's my magnets, they're all there ready, look, for goodness sake. I've got two together, so they're difficult to. So what my idea was to put that magnet there and the other one on the inside of there, and that would stick them together. And that is still sort of in my mind to do that, but I don't know whether I need to make a decision, don't I? Yeah, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to try that. So the first thing I'm going to do is put one of these, I presume. These are really big ones. I don't know whether I can, I've never used these before. I've got the two together now and I can't separate them. That's clever. That's why I had a piece of cotton in them. I presume they just fold down with, don't know. I don't know whether they just fold down on the other side with pliers or something. Yeah, I think they do. Right, so we'll go with that then. Each side of there. So just put a little nick each side of here. These are not fabric scissors, so they're not doing exactly what I'd want them to do. Right, let's have a look there. And put the closure onto there like that, and then that will hide just under there hopefully, but I've got to now be able to press these down. I do actually need to get probably one of my husband's squeezy tool things, I can't think what you call them, pliers or something, just to do that. I don't think any of mine in here will work. So yeah, so that needs to go in there like that. Doesn't look really out of place, I suppose, if I just left it like that, but I wanted to try and cover it. So I'm going to stop it there and just go find his ply. Right, so just going to squeeze that. I'm just trying to make sure it's obviously clinging to it, so I'm going to just sort of squeeze that down on there, and then this side it's going to have to go in the inside of this one, so it can't go on the outside where I've cut that ribbon off. It needs to go on the inside. So I need to make sure, see which bit's going to line up to there. So I think I want it where that ribbon. Yeah, so I've got that one squeezed down on there, and I'm quite happy with that. And I don't think that looks, because it's going to be underneath, I don't think it looks too unsightly. But this one on this side, I'm going to use a smaller, flatter one, I think, on here. And I'm just going to sew it on there, I think. I think that's my... I'm just going to make sure, yeah, it's thinner, but it still sticks to that, and it's white on the outside. So I'm going to glue it down first, but then I might have to come back in and sew it. If it doesn't stay glued down, I will come around with a bit of sewing on it, but we'll glue it down and see what it does. See if Fabri-Tac's strong enough to hold it. I'm not sure whether it will be, but as I say, there is room for me to sew it. So I'm going to put that there like that. I'm just going to see where it goes to. I don't want to attach it to the I'm just going to hold it, so that will go to there. I've had a bit of glue leak through here, so I'm going to do something with that next. I want something down there. I want a little bit of a thin lace or something down there, but I haven't decided what, so I'm just having a look. Because I've got to, when this goes together, I'm going to be sewing this ribbon on there. I'm going to glue it down first, and then I might go back in and sew it. So that's going to be the outside look of that there. So we'll get that on first, and I can decide what goes down there. So let's just do this. It's going over where the original ribbon was, and then I'm going to just put if I can find one, just put a clip to hold it on at the minute. That's it, just hold that down while that glues down. So we're looking for something to just go down here. I thought about a bit of a ruffle, but I don't know whether I've got a small enough one, or whether I just go with a little bit of this white lace there. That doesn't look too bad actually, so that's one option. This ribbon, you see, it's got to be something that the glue's not going to go through again. If the glue's going to go through, then there's not a lot of point. But I thought about that ruffle there. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with this ruffle. And just glue this down. And I've purposely left a bit of a twist in it. I have, if I can glue it down with a twist in it. So I hope you saw me doing that. I was just saying there was a bit of a twist in there, and I purposely left the twist in just for a bit of interest. And that's just glued down. Right, for the final, well, not quite the final bit, but we're going to look at how we're going to attach this piece over here to protect this. So let's move some bits out of my way. So my idea is to put some of this real pretty tulle over the top. If I can find a piece that's big enough, that's not cut awkwardly. Let's have a look. There's a long piece here, so I can see what I'm working with then. So that's the final, what I want it to finally look like. Oh gosh, I just love that, because I'm going with the idea of a veil and, you know, wedding, and so I thought that looked really pretty over there. So let's just cut a piece off. So we're working with a small piece. I've still got those pliers there. Let's just have a look. fabric scissors. Do you know, I've got things stuck to everything here. I'm getting a smaller and smaller desk. Every time I put something else on the desk, I'm just getting more and more crowded. I need to tidy up after this video. Right, I'll just fold this out my way. And I can get the other bits just in here. Yeah, I've got a bit of the edge in there that I might use to, because obviously I don't want the glue to come through, so that would be an issue again. So let's just have a look how to attach this down without it being in the way. Now, let's have a look. Obviously I've got to cut it and make it fairly straight. So I'm looking at that there. I think the only way I'm going to be able to do this is to actually sew it. I don't think I can glue this at all, because I think gluing is just going to spoil it. So I think I'm going to sew along here and just sew along here. But what I'm thinking of doing is, I don't know whether a little bit of a pleat in there looks pretty or not, or whether it flat looks better. I haven't made it. I've got it on a side tilt to me, so I'm trying to have a look. No, I definitely like it flatter. And I think what I'm going to do is, once I've sewn it on, I'm just going to put some diamante on each edge of this. So I'm going to leave it over like that, and I'm going to sew it down first. It just helps protect this. That's what it's about, but it does look exceptional. Well, I think it does. I think it looks exceptionally pretty. And then I can trim this edge afterwards. So I've left enough on. I'm obviously going to cut some of this off because it'll be easier to work with, but I can trim it up much better once it's all secured down. So I am just going to do it with a regular cotton, I think, because I think it would be difficult to do it with anything else. I was originally going to use a glittery one, but I just don't think that's necessary. I think it'd be fine with a plain one. I'm trying to find my actual smaller. Well, there it is. It's got pushed too far down. That's it. Let's just thread this. Too much cotton there. Right, so what I want to do first, I'm going to just try and secure it on this side, but I've got too much cotton, so I'm just going to cut some of my cottons off. Got enough here to do another one, so I'll just put that to one side. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just going to do sort of like a running stitch, I think. For a start, I'm just going to stab up and down just to secure it, and then just do a little running stitch. Right, so I want to keep this so I've got enough each length, each end, and then it's not going to, I don't want it to all pucker up. Now I don't know how this will let me go through. It probably will, because obviously some of this has been glued down, so it might make it difficult for me to bend, but so far it seems okay. And as I say, I don't particularly want these stitches on this side to show. If they show on the underneath, that's fine, but I don't want them showing on here. It's just too sheer to be able to put any glue or anything on it. Yeah, it's starting not to let me. I might have to put my needle right through and come up. I was trying to do it as easy as I could for myself, and I'm just trying to make sure you can see what I'm doing, but for you to see it's a bit more difficult for me to see, and I don't want to get the wrong bits in. Right, let's go into there. Let's have a look. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. See if I can bend it again. Not sure how flexible it's going to be, but it's letting me go through again at the minute. Once I've got it fairly secure, I can then go back and cut some of this top off. But I just wanted to get it down first. So this has taken some doing, because I've had this idea right from the beginning, and I made this, but then I thought, oh, it's going to be very, very sort of, you know, it's not going to last very long, it's going to get caught. So I've been looking for the right thing to put over the top of this, and I just happened to find this little party dress a while ago. I've had it a while, but of course you forget what you've got, and it was a little party dress. I think it was a bridesmaid dress, and so it had several layers, and then I saw this layer, and I thought, oh gosh, well, I think this was the top layer actually, but it looked different with it being over the top of the. It had like a sequined layer, and it looked a bit too blingy. But once I took it apart, I thought, this is perfect. So I do urge you to go back through the things you've bought, because if you're like me and you sort of put them away somewhere and you forget what you've got, because this was not, I never even thought about this because I'd forgotten about it. Well, I hadn't forgotten about the dress, but I hadn't realised it had this kind of a layer on it, that's what I mean. And then I just was, you know, looking for other stuff and thought, oh, well, that might work. And took it all apart. And right, so I'm going into this side now just to tie this off. Yeah, it's all right. Tie that off there. Just have a couple of knots. So I won't get rid of all my plastic from the bits I've glued inside. It's because this is a new video to you, but to me, I'm going straight on from something I've done inside. So, right, so let's have a look at this now. See if we can make sure. And let's cut some of this off. First, I'm just going to cut near it so that it doesn't spoil it if it's uneven, because I want to get quite a bit off. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave that. Where am I going to cut this one to? Leave that for a minute, because there isn't that much left there, and I don't want it to. And I'm not sure. I want to finish this off probably there. So if I cut that down there, this won't tear, of course, so you've got to do it with your scissors. That's it. Let's just move some of these bits out of the way because everything's sticking to me. Yeah, so that's that. And then that goes to that edge there. Oh, I've just left a little bit of it exposed, but I'm going to put a ruffle or something down there, so that's fine. Right, let's have a look at this side, because I need to cut a bit of this off as well. So I've sewn it. Oh, no, don't do that. I don't want to cut this ruffle off. I've sort of got the ruffle underneath. Stop talking. Well, stop breathing then. Trying to do that. Thinking of put all this work in. Please don't mess up now. Yeah, I actually really like that. That does look nice. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sew it a little bit down here just to catch it so it doesn't pull up. Because I was thinking about having it loose like that, but then I think we're going to have more problems with this. So I'm going to sew it down, I think. So you don't need to watch me sewing again because I don't want it to bore you, but I'm just going to sew a little bit down there, sew a little bit down there. And then on this side here, I'm going to put something down the middle, so I'll come back to you when I do that bit. So I have just done some little stitches all the way around here. Nothing really neat, just catching it every now and again. And I don't know whether you can see, but they are showing quite rough on this side. So, you know, I've not done anything special, just like some little tacking stitches, but you can't see it on this side. The inside doesn't matter because I can sort that out. So I've left this bit loose here, just at this edge, which is almost on the spine. And so I'm going to try and do this so that you can see. But I've just got a double layer of this embroidery anglais. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach that with glue and catch that edge there. And that's just gonna be loose, that it's not going to be too tight down. But what I'm going to do is glue where there's two layers. Because there's two layers of this, hopefully the glue won't show through. So that's my plan. So I'm just going to cut this down a little bit neater on these edges. If I can find my fabric scissors, I've just had hold of them. Here they are, I've put them back. So I'm just going to try and do that a little bit straighter, hopefully. I've just cut this off the big piece, you see, so I'll straighten that up. Let's see, is that... But I've got to make sure I catch this tool, because that's what it's all about, getting the tool in. Yeah, I like that there. And a lot of sewing, because I seem to be doing one thing and then finding something else to do, and oh, I need to cover that up now. So, you know, you've got to stop somewhere. Plus the fact, if I was doing this to, well, not to make a living out of, but to, you know, to make money from it, it would be, well, I wouldn't be able to do it as much as this, so I wouldn't have the time. To me, it's just the passion with me and what I get out of doing it. It would stress me out if I was having to, you know, sell them to people, I think. I mean, I am selling this one, but I've had a lot of time to make it, and I've just done it in between other projects, and you know, it's been easy to do. I just hope that looks all right like that. Yeah, I do like that, and I do like the way it comes around the back, but it's not, it's layered, it's not actually. And what I've done with this, instead of putting the two layers so that the layer showed, I've put the shorter layer underneath, and then hopefully it'll just stick down a bit there like that, and I quite like that. Actually, I think I've done that the wrong way around, haven't I? Oh, for goodness sake. Yes, I have done it so I want both layers on, but I still want the layers showing on that side. Oh, dear me. Right, get rid of that piece and try that again the right way round. Oh, for goodness sake. So I shall be editing some of this again because I've done that the wrong way round. Yeah, so what I want to do, because this has got the 2 layers here, I want to glue just a little bit of this along there to hold it down, but then the 2 layers of glue, the 2 layers of material will stop the glue showing through, is my plan. So I'm just making sure I stay where there's the 2 layers. I've actually done this and got it the wrong way round. I glued on the wrong side, would you believe? So I'm just having to do it again. So if it cuts out a bit strange, it's because I had to stop it and get some more of this because I did it the wrong way. It's here, look, I glued on this bit here. I glued on this side and had it that way round, which looked all right if you didn't know it was 2 layers, but that isn't how I wanted it. So I managed to get it off. And I'm just making sure that sticks now. That's better. Yeah, I like that. And now I think it's time that I stop messing about now, because I could just go forever and ever and ever. And that's just ridiculous. I've got a little bit there that's not sewn down, so I'm going to have to do something with it. I keep finding other bits, but if I put Fabri-Tac under there and nothing over the top, I'm going to have the same problem. So I just need something on there, and I'm just looking, can I get away with one of these butterflies just on the bottom of there? And I think I can. I think I can manage somewhere, because this is a double layer as well. So I'm just going to put a butterfly on there. You still see a bit of the pink through, but it needs just something. And these lace butterflies are really pretty. So I'm just going to put a bit in that middle where it's double layered, and just a little bit on the antennae, and then they won't stick up, and just pop that there like that. That's lovely. I like that. And then this is just loose, it's not stuck down. You can still see the end of the bridal dress there, but it'll lay down like that. And then my final touches here, I'm just going to put some charms on these ends here. So if I can find them over here, and say I've had them a minute ago. I've moved these several times, and every time I go back I think, where have I put them now? Because I've moved them in another place. So all these are is, well, I couldn't get anything other than a love heart for the bride, but it says bride and groom on it. It's just to personalise the touches and, you know, to make that little bit special. I mean, if anybody would like one of these and they want to message me, they can message me, and I would make one. But I would only make them if people message me and ask me. I'm not sort of advertising anything at the minute. But yeah, if anybody messaged me, I would make them one, same as I made this one. I'm going to try some baby ones. I haven't done baby ones before, so I don't know what I would do in the baby ones. Right, this is the wax thread, you know, from sewing the signature in, and it's lovely because when you tie the knot it just sticks down. You can't undo it again, so it doesn't fall off. So I'm just doing 3 knots just to really tie that tight, and that's for the bride. And then I'm going to cut this other end off. See if I can do it without cutting the long string off. That's that one. Now, do we want, we're going to have the groom shorter than the bride. So the groom's, that's a love heart. I hope you can see that, can you? Yeah, that's a love heart. And then the groom's is a hat, is a top hat. So the groom charm, I think it's really cute. Because this is sort of open on the other side, whereas the hat's like a, you know, like a hat would be inside. Right, so I want them like that. So let's just turn this in and do the first knot, then we know where the size is. And if you can hear that, that's poor old Oscar. He's on medication, but he's very breathless and very short of breath. Got a very, very nasty cough. That's it, that's 3 on that one. I think I'm going to do that one more, because I'm going to just do it the other way around as well. One over the top, because this is a bit heavier. The hat's a bit heavier than the hat. That's it. There we go. Oh, that's pretty. I've left those till almost last. There we go. And then what I've decided, oh, I've got it, so that they'll just hang like that on that back. They'll just hang down there, which I think is really pretty. The back I'm not doing anymore. I've got the butterfly on there, the dress on the front. I'll obviously show you this in more detail when, I mean, if you've been watching the videos, you've probably seen most of it anyway, but I will show you in a bit more detail. So that's it for now. I think everything's done there. And then the next video will be the flip through. So I'll say bye for now. Thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I would love a comment from you. Thank you. Bye.